studies have shown that pedestrians are struck by cars when crossing streets and crosswalks more often than they are struck when crossing outside of crosswalks. So, okay, if we're in a crosswalk, we're more likely to get hit than when we're not in a crosswalk. This is because crosswalks give many pedestrians an overly sense of security that oncoming cars will follow the signals, and these pedestrians are less likely to look both ways before crossing the street. So what is our, well, I guess that our, so this one's a little bit weird for a weakening question, is that it's just telling us our study, and then like we're trying, it's almost like they're giving us a paradox and then giving us an explanation of the paradox, and we're trying to weaken the explanation. So our study is saying that, hey, it's true that pedestrians are struck by cars when crossing streets in crosswalks more often than they are struck when crossing outside of crosswalks. And then our reasoning is because that people have an overly sense of security. So we're trying to undermine the explanation proposed. So how would we weaken this idea that it's not because people have an overly sense of security? Did anybody read this reasoning and say that that's crap in your head? Like, why does that, like I did. I was like, that sucks. Like, was anybody surprised that you're more likely to get hit by in a crosswalk than not in a crosswalk?
Not really, because you know how many people walk out in front of your car just because it's a crosswalk?
Right. No, that's what I was saying. I was like, I was more like when I went to college, I was more likely to get hit by a car at Ohio State in a crosswalk than all my family's, like, you know, nobody drives up our road, rural America. Mm-hmm. And it's not because I have an overly strong sense of security.
Because the drivers aren't paying attention.
Yeah. Or just the number of people that are crossing. Like, I'm thinking of all these like kids running to class, like in college, like how many people got hit by cars at Ohio State? Like, it happened all the time. Like, and I'm not joking, like it literally happened like probably at least once a month, if not more. So this answer choice is going to be A, because it's saying the overwhelming majority of pedestrians in high traffic areas cross streets and crosswalks. So it's just saying like the overwhelming majority. So 80% of people that actually cross the street do it in a crosswalk, and that's why more people are likely to get hit. It's not because we have an overly strong sense of security. Did anybody have any other answer choices for this one?
I just have like a statement to say. I was like, when I saw A, I was really thinking of like New York City, because I'm like from that area. And so there's like crosswalks everywhere, but like kind of like what you said, people still get like hit even despite the crosswalks being there, because there's like so many people, so many cars. And yeah.
And would you blame the person having an overly strong sense of security? Like if someone, you would in New York City, you'd be like, the reason you got hit is because you had an
no, sorry. I misheard your question. No, I would not think so. No.
It was your own fault. You had an overly strong sense of security today.
Normally it's the jaywalkers.
Wait, okay. So I think I'm confused because I don't, so how does that weaken it though?
Because it's just like you're more likely to get hit just because most people do it there. Like you're just more like, you're more like no one, like yeah, it's true that you're more likely to get hit in a crosswalk. Like no one's denying that. This is asking us to weaken the explanation. So their explanation is the reason that people are more likely to get hit in a crosswalk is because the people crossing have an overly strong sense of security. What A tells us is it's not that they have this overly strong sense of security, it's just that most people that cross the street do it in a crosswalk. So the likelihood of it happening is just significantly higher.
Okay, I don't like that.
That's like saying more people get killed in town A because they have an overly strong sense of security. Well, what if like the overwhelming majority of something just happens in that bad part of town? Again, like it's not because they have a strong sense of security, it's just because that's like where, yeah, that's what happens. Or people, or like think about deaths. Like this is like saying like you're more likely to die at the hospital. This isn't gonna be completely the same. Like you're more likely to die at a hospital than not at a hospital. Therefore, you shouldn't go to the hospital.
Okay.
You know what? Like it's not completely the same flaw, but like no, it's just like the overwhelming majority of people that are seriously sick go to a hospital.
Brittany, it's saying that you're more likely to get hit because there's more people on a crosswalk. Like the more people there are, the more likely you're going to get hit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I picked E, and now I'm looking at E. I guess it really strengthens it. It like supports the fact that they're overly strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I flip those on a regular basis. Like it's really frustrating how often I do that.
I do the same thing. So I don't like every single time. Especially for these hard ones that it's hard for me to digest and to get it right. I continuously have to go back and be like, wait a minute, don't forget what you're looking for. Is it a weaken or a strengthen? And I still end up getting them wrong anyway. So
I agree. I think especially, and that tends to be when we answer choice D or E, because by the time we get there, we tend to forget what we're looking for. I think test writers do it on purpose, honestly. Like, I think there is some type of science of like the order they write this, and certain words or certain things like trigger our brains to like switch back to the opposite because it like, they're like the people that write this, there's like so much psychology behind tricking us.
this is the only question I got right tonight. So
Yay, you're ending on a high note.
okay.
These are like there's like I said, there's only 3 of these like on a section.
Lisa, now you're never gonna miss another question like this again because you're gonna be too angry from tonight to ever miss something similar. Because you'll remember this day and how much you hated these questions and be like, I will never let LSAT wrong me again or trick me with the same thing.
I would like to believe that, but I don't think that that's going to happen.
I'm thinking parallel flaw questions for next week.